Hello everybody, you're welcome back again to the Reggae Appreciation Society. When you go over the super interesting life stories of the colorful personalities in reggae and dancehall, there's hardly ever a dull moment in most of them. But I must say that the journey of the mercurial lyricist and toasting genius of the governor of dancehall, more popularly known as Lieutenant Stitchie, is simply on a level of its own. You would be hard-pressed to find any other DJ with his sort of resume. He's not only the first dancehall DJ with a PhD, but alongside King Yellowman, made history by bagging an international record deal. At the time, it was almost unheard of for reggae artists, long before the likes of Buju Banton or Shabba Ranks. Let's not even delve into his unreal influence on 90s hip-hop, as revealed by the likes of rap icons like Busta Rhymes. I like to refer to him as the most underreported legend of our time. It's crazy how many people don't even know how instrumental he was in popularizing dancehall in places like the Netherlands and Germany, or that he broke records for being the first to bag 14 number one singles in a single year. He came up as a youth in one of the most dangerous places on Jamaican soil, but chose the path that saw him choose the occupation of an academic before pivoting to a career as a musician, and rose to becoming a superstar on the strength of his rapid-fire delivery, storytelling, and humorous style. At the very peak of his success, he once again pivoted to a new unlikely phase in his journey after an almost fatal car crash, turning his back on the industry and restarting his journey as a gospel reggae icon long before it became a thing. Let's take a look at the amazing Lieutenant Stitchie, the biology teacher that became a reggae legend and walked away from it. He was born Cleveland Lang in September 1965 in Spanish Town, Jamaica, and attended the Tivoli Garden High School in the heart of Kingston, amidst the tense and volatile political atmosphere in that area. But the school itself was an oasis of excellence, especially in sports, with young Cleveland emerging as an astounding track and field athlete. While his home in Spanish Town, with its own homegrown reggae stars like Big Joe and the amazing Iroy, sparked a love for performing in that teenager, and he began to hang around local sound systems, getting on a mic every chance he could get. After graduating from high school, he enrolled at the GC Foster College, where he bagged a degree in physical health education and biology and became a successful teacher for several years. However, the allure of music was too strong, and by 1984, he was holding lectures with his students by day and mesmerizing his audiences by night at outfits like Django Sound System, and was known then as DJ Rankin Noseworthy, until his huge love for citrus fruits got him the nickname of Citrus or Stitchie. Eventually, that name would morph into Lieutenant Stitchie after a printer made a mistake with his name on his first single. In 1986, his exploits on the sound system circuit saw him move to King Jammy's sound system, where his fast-paced storytelling technique and humor quickly made him a crowd favorite across the island. It was King Jammy who produced the single Wear Your Size, a hilarious song that was inspired by a lady that Jammy knew who loved to wear smaller sizes of shoes. This song was a big hit that soon led to the release of his debut album of the same name in 1987. Already emerging as a major icon, his next single, Natty Dread, that came out in the same year, became a smash hit that topped Jamaica's singles charts for an incredible 14 weeks. This record-breaking exploit saw him get sought out and signed up by US-based multinational label Atlantic Records in 1988, becoming only the second dancehall artist to achieve this, since Yellowman became the first to sign up to a global label. The first album he released under Atlantic was the brilliant The Governor, that hit record store shelves in 1989 and spawned the hit track Dressed to Impress, which became the first dancehall tune to enter the US Billboard dance charts. That album was followed by 1991's Wild Jamaican Romances that contained the hit song Night and Day, as well as 1993's Rude Boy, all bona fide hits. He had by all means broken into the US market and would win lots of admirers within the hip-hop community, including his biggest fan in Busta Rhymes, who till date lists him and Papa San as his biggest influences. He would even feature with rap legends like Big Daddy Kane and LL Cool J on the track titled Straight from Queens of his album 14 Shots to the Dome. But despite all these, Lieutenant Stitchie began to get disillusioned with his career in America, and for two main reasons. The first of these was commercial or business, in that despite having all the hit records and albums going gold, he wasn't getting his commensurate reward in money. And the second is that he was losing his creative spark from being away from home for so long. In his own words, if you leave your roots, you begin to wither. he shocked the entire industry by walking away from Atlantic and moving back to Jamaica, a move that paid off big time as he reconnected with local producers like Patrick Roberts of Shocking Vibes, who at the time was doing great things with artists like Cutty Ranks and a young Beanie Man. The first song he recorded after returning to Jamaica was Burn It Down, that became a big hit that went to #1 in Jamaica's charts in record time. He recorded for various producers over the next 3 years at what was a prolific rate and scored hit after hit back to back, even bagging 14 #1s in Jamaica in one calendar year. However, in 1997, a single event would change his life and direction forever. He'd been booked and invited to perform at that year's Reggae Summerfest Festival as one of the headliners. And while driving there that evening, a reckless truck driver slammed into his car, leaving him and his companions badly injured and the car a total write-off. He and his friends were rushed to the hospital, and he in particular was ordered by the doctor not to perform that night. He defied this instruction and still found his way to the venue with a large bandage around his head, where he courageously put in an electric performance that stunned the crowd and led to him getting 7 encores, plus being named the best performer of that night and the best performer of the whole festival. After his show was over, he was answering questions from several journalists. When a 15-year-old Canadian kid with dreadlocks walked up to him and put a small Bible in his pocket, he found out years later that that kid was the then upcoming gospel reggae star called Ja Pickney. Stitchie would go back to his hotel, took out the Bible and began to read it. After losing his mom 2 years earlier and surviving that terrible accident, the first lines of scripture he read in that Bible would go straight to his soul, and he immediately converted and became a Christian that night. He stepped away from music for a while to study the Bible and seek direction from the Lord for 2 whole years, and made a comeback as a gospel reggae artist, and an album titled To God Be the Glory in 1999. He became the arrowhead of the gospel reggae movement and released albums consistently over the next few years, like 2004's Kingdom Ambassador and 2007's Real Life Story, and the most recent being 2019's Masterclass. Interestingly, he bagged a PhD in 2012, and in 2014 became the first dancehall artist to write a book with the publishing of his autobiography titled The Power of Determination. He also got awarded the Jamaican Order of Distinction in 2021 for his contributions to the island's music. But unfortunately, in 2024, he will suffer a terrible stroke that almost took his life. He was in a very bad situation, but according to his wife, he's been recovering slowly but steadily over time, and it's our deepest hope that the governor of Dancehall in the awesome Lieutenant Stitchie will soon be back on his feet much sooner than later. So there you have it. Thank you for watching this video today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, Jah bless.